And when they tell the plane to turn on airplane mode, what percent? 30% is actually doing it, maybe?
Maybe. I mean, come on. Some of the boomers, I mean, they're like,
they don't even know
airplane mode. What? They can't even put the fucker on silent.
No.
Welcome to the Chip and Cern Show, the podcast about everything and nothing at the same time. They were possibly separated at birth, only to be rejoined to create the sweet sounds that will caress your deepest cochlea. The show is real, random, rant-filled, and ruthless. Please be warned that this show may hurt your feelings, offend your grandma, and even kick your dead dog in the balls. So get ready, and let's get this shit started.
This shit has started. I'm Chip.
I'm Cern.
And you are listening to the Chip and Cern Show.
Yes, once again, or possibly, just possibly for the very first time.
Somehow it could happen. I don't know how. We still haven't decided how people could actually find us. But we know it does happen.
It does.
We know it does
I think we slid we were climbing the ranks in
Zimbabwe?
Somewhere. Yeah, I can't remember.
Where was it? It was Turkmenian, I believe. We were up in the 30s in comedy.
Yeah.
Which doesn't speak to the very highly of the level of comedians in Turkmenian or comedic podcast, I would say, I guess. But
oh boy.
Maybe our brand of humor indexes well over there.
It's possible.
Maybe not though.
It's possible.
It could not. Well, Cerny, we were chatting before the show. I had a bit of work travel. My first work travel in 2-3 years now. I went over to sunny Orlando, Florida.
What was the temp?
It got to 84 one day. But
wow.
It's very muggy and humid over there. So and they have gators. And
did you see any?
I didn't see any, but I did go for a run one morning, and I ran everything in Florida is just, I don't know. It's just blah. Like the nature is just blah. Like the grass is, it's just whatever. But I'm running the farthest on the sidewalk away from any streams or water features because I don't know how fast. First of all, I don't even know if crocodiles or alligators are the one in Florida.
Alligators. Crocodiles are Africa.
And then I don't know how fast they are. Like if I'm running by and I have my headphones on, are they just going to come out and like grab my leg and or how is it going to work? So I was trying to get the furthest away from anything.
Become a news story.
Yeah. I didn't. My goal, obviously, meet my coworkers that I've worked with for like a year that I have never met face to face. I also didn't want to become a Florida man story. That would be bad. And I was also the travel went off without incident. But I had a great opportunity to score.
You didn't have any freakouts on the plane, or someone didn't want to wear masks.
I was worried because I think as I was getting on, or when you're on the plane and they're giving you the okay, now please put your personal tablets into airplane mode, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
I appreciate why they want to do airplane mode, but don't we possess technology to not have? I've never, when we're landing the plane and someone turns it on early, the airplane mode back on.
I think
has the plane ever crashed into the ground? Like, oh shit, you shouldn't have turned your airplane mode off.
I don't think if it was such a risk, they'd be confiscating shit at the door.
Exactly.
So
no phone.
It may do some things here and there, but I think if it was even the tiniest drop possibility to take that plane down, they're taking your shit.
100%. And when they tell the plane to turn on airplane mode, what percent? 30% is actually doing it, maybe?
Maybe. I mean, come on. Some of the boomers, I mean, they're like,
they don't even know
airplane mode. What? They can't even put the fucker on silent.
No. They're like, is that next to the silent button? I can't find that one either. But in Florida, they had some regional Pokemon that I hadn't been exposed to. And I was, because I remember way back when in the early days of Pokemon, when I went on a cruise to the Virgin Islands, we were able to score some exclusive Pokemon down there. So we sort of resurrected that. But I got plenty to trade, so I could
perfect.
sling some over. And the wife was very happy. This paid dividends for her this trip. She was loving it.
She made out like a bandit.
she did. Every night at the work event, a dinner or some sort of drink or award ceremony. And then one night they did awards, and it was casino night. Come dressed to the nines was the requirement.
Oh.
So
did they give you pre-warning?
Yes,
okay.
Had plenty of time to know about this. So, and then there was a lot of people that are like,
then of it is shame, like what?
Fucking tank top and board shorts and my flip flops. I'm like,
I was going to Florida. Fuck.
I was going to hit the lazy river. What at the complex? Awards? Oh, okay. And I was debating because being from California, and this is a global company, just fully remote, so people distributed all over the place. I was just going to play hey, I'm from California, and this is kind of dressed up with my jeans and like a jacket, a shirt with a collar.
This is California's interpretation.
This is California
to
the nines right here. But I checked with a few other of my male coworkers, and I was like, "What are you bringing?" And they're like, "Oh, I'm digging the wedding suit out." I'm like, "Okay." So I packed my wedding suit up. Whatever. It's a good time to use it.
Yeah, it's got multiple uses.
So I went down there all dressed up, and they had the award ceremony. And then during the award ceremony, they're like, "Oh," we walked in, casino night. So it was set up for some gambling action.
Okay.
They went around and gave everyone. They were very diligent with giving one person these vouchers because the voucher was for $500 worth of chips. It wasn't actually $500; it was for the chips. But they weren't like, it wasn't like, "Oh, could I get another one?" They were very like, "You get one and you get one."
Okay.
And so I was like, "Ooh, perfect."
So it's like play money then, right?
It basically play money, but you can every $100 you had, you get a ticket, a raffle ticket, and you could put it in to win like whatever. I don't know.
It's in a silent auction or whatever you call them. Yeah.
They can't like legally have you gambling and stuff. But
I was saying when you tell me a story, I was like, is there like no law down there? What the fuck?
Fuck it. We're in Florida now. Yeah. But no, yeah, it was for fun money. And so they had blackjack, Texas Hold'em, roulette, craps, and then they had the mirrored on the other side. So they had like 2 blackjack tables, 2 poker, 2 roulettes, and 1 craps.
So if it was me, I think I would use my play money to learn craps.
That's what people were telling me to do because I was like, I don't know how to play, and then they were like, "Well, this isn't your money." I couldn't help myself. I went to the blackjack table almost immediately.
Okay.
Certainly creature of habit.
I mean,
creature of habit. And people are like, "Well, I like blackjack, but I hate all the pressure of counting so fast." I'm like, you know what? I have a friend that I bring with me gambling, and he just does the math for me real quick, and then just leans down and whispers the number into my ear.
His name is Joe.
And Cerny.
Or Rain Man number 2.
Yes. And so but they had actual
I do count for you too.
Yeah, you do some counting for me. And so I'm sitting there, and it's just you just can't help your programming, It's not even real money, and I'm playing like the lowest chip, just like 1 thing, and I can't
minimum bet.
It's just my programming and how I am. And
you don't want to early exit to the night, so
yeah. And I had my they had open bar as well and stuff. So but here's the problem though. It's basically it's like hotel catering and stuff. They went with the entry level, so the options were Amstel Light, Heineken, Bud Light, and then some IPA that I hadn't heard of before, and it was okay. So I just got the IPA, and then they had like some wines that I think were probably like $10 a bottle or something.
Okay.
So I was just like, I'll go with the beer. I know what I'm gonna get. And they had, they weren't pouring like Tito's or Bombay Sapphires, but they did have a gin custom gin drink, and I thought, oh, Cerny would.
I would dive into that.
Would dig into that. So I'm playing cards here, and immediately catch fire. I'm win like 6 hands in a row, and my balls start growing really big almost after the third hand. I'm like, okay, $50 a hand. I go from $5 to $50. I'm just letting every hand.
Was it like a single deck or a shoe?
It was like 3 decks, but they didn't have an automatic shuffler, so they had.
No.
Yeah, so they had that, but the dealers were cool with it, and they would deal it out, and then if it was a face card or an ace, and they would check. A couple times, they had the blackjack, and I was like, oh, you know how I am when I'm gambling.
you gotta get a little shit.
Yeah, you're kind of getting into it. I'm wishing other people good luck. Blackjack right here for this. I'm getting the whole table into it and everything. And they looked and they're like, oh, thing, and they're like, oh, that was a bad deal, and they would just discard that, and they would deal themselves 2 new cards, so they would keep playing, which was cool. They ended up winning the hand anyway. I'm like, you did all you could for us.
Cards never lie.
Yeah, they did. So of course, because it's not my money, start stacking chips, and I got a couple couple hundreds in there, a couple 50, and I'm like, oh, I'm just going well. And then it kind of went cold on me for a little bit. And I was giving a little back, and I'm like, let me walk away from this before it gets out of hand with my fake money.
I don't want to be broke.
I know, I don't want to be broke. So I go around, and I realize I had sort of been first to move on this. So I got a nice table and spot, and when I came back, like I went outside or I got a new drink, and they had like a whole table with just fucking snacks on it and everything. Everyone swooped in. So I came back from getting my beer. All the tables are flush. Everything's full up. It's like, fuck, I lost my good
real
seat.
estate.
I lost everything. And people are just fucking putting down roots in these chairs. They're just sitting there. They've been there for 20, 30 minutes just sitting in the same chair. I'm like, listen, I got to get back to losing this money. And I think this is a normal thing. You kind of stand behind, you just sort of watch how the table plays out for a little bit and get a feel for how it's going. Isn't that normal?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's normal.
So I was doing that, and I was standing behind this guy. I didn't know. And some of these people, it's like, oh, you talk with them once in a while, and you never see their face, so you don't know, but you maybe had worked with them before or whatever.
Yep.
So I'm sitting there, and he gets 2 queens dealt to him in blackjack, and it comes to him.
Split him.
And he goes, hit? Oh. And the dealer's like, what? I'm like, no, bro. I'm like, no. Just, he also, his bet was like 200. He had a really big bet out there.
I mean, you just stay at that point.
I was like, just stay. You pretty much have really good odds to win. You should just chill. He goes, okay. So then I kind of started coaching this guy up on sort of just the basics. And hey, I'm sure if Statboy Dan or Joe here, well, Joe's not going to hear this. I'm not the best blackjack player ever, right? Like I don't know the rule, but I know the basic fucking, rules.
Yeah, you don't.
I knew more than this guy. You don't hit on 20. I know that fucking rule at least. And so he got 6 and a 5. Dealer showing like a 4. I was like, dude. Double.
11. You got
double. So he put out. I had him leverage very nicely. It wasn't my money either.
Yeah.
It wasn't his either. Fucking he face card 21. I'm like, dude, you just scored. You just turned your $200 bet. Now you're winning $600. So you're welcome. Didn't even fucking pass me any bet. I'm like, motherfucker.
Oh no, you got a tip. Come on, man.
I gave you this.
I mean, obviously he hasn't been in a casino. He's trying to hit on 20.
Yeah, and then there were some other people that had probably a little too many fucking white wine spritzers during the award show, and was like counting and kind of like not paying attention and just looking around, and then finally they got up. So I just snuck back over there, and I went back and playing a little bit more. Everything was going fine, and then they're like, have 10 minutes to or 5 minutes until your chips are due and your tokens or to get your raffle tickets. And I'm like, well, it was kind of getting late anyway. I was like, fuck it. Just put all the chips on one hand. Fucking lost it. I thought for sure. But and then it turns out the raffle things weren't even that good anyway. So
okay, so
I didn't
no
miss
loss.
out on anything. But of course, when it's not your money, just the good
Free
luck
and easy.
comes
Free and easy.
pouring on in. Easy come, easy go with that money. But when I really needed to come down to it and score, a big come up.
Swing and a miss.
No dice.
Oh, that's interesting. I'm always interested in some of the people that go a little bit too hard at like company parties. You're like, I'll have a couple drinks, but
I think some of it is really tied to they get really nervous about how they're going to talk to everybody. It's like an social anxiety kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Which makes it worse.
Yeah, let me just get some like confidence juice in here.
Yeah. Liquid courage. Yeah.
A little liquid courage, and then we'll be fine. But then they pound a couple drinks quick, and then
because it's like the rookie mistake where it's like you have a few drinks, like I'm not feeling anything. So you have a couple more, and you're like, and then all of a sudden it's like, wow,
and you're on the
all
floor.
at once, underwater.
Yes, we've all been there. It doesn't make you
it doesn't make you
a
that person.
No, but yeah, I played it safe on the booze department. Just again, I don't need to be making a fool out of myself. And I had
I don't need booze to help me to do that anyway. Yeah. I can do that on my own.
Yeah, I'm good enough on my own, left to my own devices. And because I was coming from the West Coast to Florida, I was having a hard time getting to sleep at night. It would be, I'm normally kind of falling asleep around 9:30, 10.
Mm-hmm.
But here I am, it's 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, and I can't fucking fall asleep because I'm like still going. But they don't pad that on the other side. Breakfast at 7:30. Like you still got to be up early. So I was burning it at both ends, and I'm like, oh, I took it easy on the booze because sometimes it doesn't help.
Yeah, your sleep is
not
as rewarding when you're on the booze.
Yeah, and I didn't sleep on the flight back. I thought I was going to. Fucking huge come up on the flight back. I'm in bed, fucking swerving and laying in bed here, and I'm like, oh, check into my flight, and you could switch your seat, and they had an emergency exit row.
Ooh.
And those always give you. There's always a little bit more leg room because it has to be like ADA compliant, I think.
Yeah, the 3 feet, I think is what it is.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, it was a window, but I opted to have the window, but to have the longer leg room. And when I got there, I had the whole row to myself and the leg room. I literally was fully extended my legs. I put them out as far as I could. I couldn't even touch the seat in front of me. I hadn't got a travel come up like that in a while. So I was very happy.
So it was overall success.
It was overall success, and I was like, "Oh man, I'm going to be able to like lean back and just take a couple hours nap. Eat through this 5-hour and 45-minute flight. I was going to have to be landing, basically at like 11:30 at night back on the West Coast. Oh my word, couldn't sleep a wink. It's like when you fuck.
It's always the worst.
I know. I didn't know what to do, but. I just can't do anything at that point. But I came home, bagged some Florida exclusive Mons.
There you go.
Mons, brought them over.
I'll be looking for a trade later.
Yeah. We got a lucky trade coming up too.
We do. I have several luckies.
We got a lot. We're all lined up on the Pokemon business.
I think they need to start releasing some more Mons.
It is. Yeah, I feel like it's getting a little bit. The group that we have, the text thread, which is you, your brother, my wife, Joe, and his wife. It's like the Pokemon Go clan, little group chat. If there's a raid, we'll all like
jump
in.
on.
It's not been as active lately.
No, it used to be hot and heavy all the time.
Yeah.
It kicked up a little bit with these new rates, a little bit.
Yeah.
I think, but it's not as hot as it is as it was.
I feel like because it's the winter, people aren't out and about.
True.
Or something, maybe.
It's cold as hell today, so for us.
I know, and we're in California, but my windshield was frozen. My fucking doors were frozen shut this morning.
Yeah. I was whining to this guy at work about it. I was like, it's fucking cold out there. He's like, tell me about it. Our high today is 22. I was like, oh, yeah, never mind. scratch my complaint.
Disregard. I was talking to someone. That's the kind of the funny thing about in like a just totally remote company. Some days I get on and I don't know. I just get cold in the morning, so I'll have a jacket and I'll have a beanie on, and they're like, "Wow, Chipper, is it really cold there?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's like 44 right now." I was like, "I'm in Vermont and it's -9." I haven't been outside in like 4 days.
Like, oh,
well, I don't know what to tell you, but you chose to live there. And
the stories about people from California are true.
Yeah,
our weather tolerance is very slim.
We're just not that hardened on the colder side.
No, on the hot side,
I think we can handle.
Yeah. I mean, especially here in the valley when it gets to like when it's 100. 102. Yeah, and we can still go out and function and do stuff. It's hot as hell, but we still out and do stuff. But
yeah,
you tell that people like, what? No fucking way.
Yeah, they're like, 80 degrees, really hot today. It was 80. I'm like, that's cute.
Yeah.
How about this dry?
That's April weather for us, baby.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's been so cold lately that Florida, it was 80. I was like, oh man, this is gonna be so nice. The one thing that was nice when you're hanging out outside, when you could just wear a t-shirt.
Yeah.
I do. That's like one of my favorite things at night with the t-shirt and you're comfortable.
Oh yeah. T-shirt and shorts. You're outside. Like, yeah.
But fucking hell, it was like 8:30 for one of the breakfast, and it was outside. It's in full sun. I mean, it was like amazing golf weather, which is the only thing to do in Florida.
Okay, makes sense.
Or try to strip people of their rights. There's that they also do that a lot.
Or third option, get a rubber tug. And we know that.
Yeah, that's also true.
Robert Kraft has taught us anything.
nice handy at some fucking strip mall rub and tug. And it was like 80 degrees in the morning and just the full sun beating down. I was like, I'm not ready for summer yet. It's just like too intense, too quick. Let's ease into it. People. But yeah, I don't know. And I wouldn't say I can foresee myself moving to Florida anytime ever.
Ever? Yeah. No, I'm good.
I don't know. I'm sure there's great.
We had a lot of people around here that like moved to Florida, but they were
I could see it's a
tax, those people.
If you think that California is like overbearing on your quote unquote personal freedoms, you're going to move to Texas or you're going to move to Florida.
Yep. That's
or if you don't want to deal with any coldness at all and you want to hit golf like 5 or 6 days a week, Florida is also a great place for you, I feel like.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean there wasn't a lot of healthy, vibrant-looking individuals, at least in Orlando. It was just like crusty old white people.
Retired.
Yeah. And then people going to Disney World.
Okay, that makes sense.
Those were everyone that was showing up. Just some monster fucking houses, though. Like you're just driving. We were driving from the airport. It looked like it was just a huge fucking mansion, and they're like, "Oh yeah," and then someone's like, "Oh," pulls it up in Zillow. They're like, "Oh, that's like $600,000."
I was
it was
say,
like an 8-bedroom fucking
$200,000.
house, It's just great, huge pool, and it was on a private they basically built like a little lagoon area that it was like a gated private lagoon thing that all these houses. It's just craziness. Like what? Huge balconies. Like you could have a party on your balcony and have 50 people up there. It was so big. Look, I mean, you could definitely shoot a music video there, for sure.
Oh, okay.
That's probably where they shoot them.
Yeah, that's probably why they do it.
Doja Cats and things like that.
There you go.
Yeah. Any Megan Thee Stallion have any new?
I don't know. I've been listening to a lot of pods, so I don't know. I haven't been on the music game in a little bit.
I know. I always try to keep my ear to the ground. You know, Nicki Minaj is probably dropping something hot every once in a while, so I do try to check in on the Spotify. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't been. I don't have my ear to the ground on that stuff. But
we're getting old, damn.
We are. We're falling out of touch. Speaking of Spotify, we've been so consumed with the Super Bowl win by the LA Rams.
That's right.
This whole Joe Rogan business. We haven't had a chance to even chat about this.
That's right. So they scrubbed, what was it, like 110 episodes, something of that nature?
Yeah. So Joe, he had a hard time getting out of the news cycle there for a bit. So he signed like $100 million, which now is being reported that maybe it was even closer to $200 million.
So I saw that
with fucking Spotify for all his. So Joe Rogan was doing whatever on Apple Podcast, and he would have it on Spotify, and he was big on YouTube, so he would stream these like 3-hour things. Spotify paid him whatever hundreds of millions of dollars to be exclusive.
Yep.
So he couldn't do his YouTube anymore, which that, you know. Anyway, I guess when you have $100 million, YouTube is whatever.
He doesn't need it.
He doesn't need it. And so he had on some guest that was spewing a lot of false COVID-related information.
What's that guy's name? Let me get him up here.
And Joe Rogan basically let him go totally unchecked. And the New York Times did a whole post about it, saying like this guy was basically stating the fucking craziness thing, like, that Joe Biden didn't actually get the vaccine shot. They said that was a staged fake shot that they gave him when they were doing it. Just fucking crazy things that are easy to disprove, but Joe Rogan didn't call him on this bullshit, and he let this guy just, he has a huge platform, and he let all this misinformation kind of happen. So that got him in.
There's no question.
Hot
it was.
Water.
What was that guy's name? He said he was like a doctor or something, didn't he?
Yeah, but it was I think it was kind of some BS, situation. And then so that came out, and that was Neil Young said, "Well, you take down Joe Rogan, or you take my music off," and they're like, "All right, see ya, Neil Young."
I think it's Dr. Robert Malone.
That does sound familiar.
Yeah, it was him. I'm looking at his picture. It was him.
Yeah. And so Spotify didn't have any really content policies in place about misinformation and things like that. So they kind of came out with that, and they were pretty much standing behind Joe Rogan. So that's one whole issue. But then at some point there was this video that was shared that basically chopped up Joe Rogan saying the N-word umpteen million times.
Yeah.
Everything's out of context, obviously, and everything.
Yeah, but he used the word. It doesn't matter what context it is.
Yeah. So, if there's a video floating around and it has you saying the N-word on video 50 times or whatever it was, it's a little bit tough.
Yeah.
And then they ended up scrubbing 100 and something episodes from his archives. I guess it must have been the episodes that the N-word was contained therein. So I don't think I haven't heard what's the latest. I mean, I don't expect him to get canceled or anything, but
no, I don't. I think he's just going to try to 110 episodes. I think he's just going to.
He has like 700 or 800 at least, right? Or does he have over 1,000 now?
I don't know. I don't follow.
Yeah.
I think he's just gonna. I think he made an apology, and I don't think he's gonna. I think he'll be kind of. He's not gonna rock the boat and kind of try to let it till the next thing comes over. I'm sure.
Yeah.
The Russia-Ukraine thing is going to. He's probably like, yes.
Yeah.
Stealing the headlines from me.
Come on, Putin. Let's go.
Oh, he did it already. As of today.
I know. I saw that. Russia's invading Ukraine as we speak.
Again, I mean, they did it back in 2016 or whatever.
Now, I will say, this brings an interesting thing up about the whole cancel culture and things like that. And I think canceling someone like Harvey Weinstein, totally,
absolutely,
pig and intolerable, insufferable human. I think there needs to be something to say for people who grow. And in order to grow, you have to change and learn from mistakes, right? So, I feel like if Joe Rogan says he doesn't use that word anymore, I mean, we got to take his word for it, I guess. I don't know. But should you have been using it all so many times less than 10 years ago?
Probably not. It's
not.
also like, the Kevin Hart thing where you had the tweets and stuff, and they went back and
said something about his son. If his son was gay, he would.
Yeah, I forget what
that.
It was something
smash
of
his Barbie house or some shit.
And it's like, okay, that was. I mean, how many years ago? The ones that really kind of get me is when they dig up on somebody that was like, when he was 16 years old, he said, like, okay, hold on. I remember when I was 16. That was a jackass. Okay.
Yeah. That's the thing that I'm kind of talking about too, is like, there's things that I believed or said or whatever when I was younger that obviously I didn't know about. And now that I have grown
you learn,
I've changed my view. And isn't that what we want everyone to do, is be willing to see other outside opinions and change? Doesn't that mean you're growing as a person, sort of?
Yeah, and I think the worst thing to do is when you just get the torches out and
yes,
Frankenstein monster on them. Then you get the opposite effect. I think. Then you get somebody who's like, you know what, fuck it, I'm digging in. Then you could get something you're not looking for.
Exactly. Yep. And I'm with you there on like, oh yeah, we went back 12 years and found some like, speech he gave in college, and he made an off-color joke, sort of thing. I know there's that country music guy, Morgan Wallen, I believe his name is.
I don't know. Maybe Garth Brooks is my only country music guy.
I don't think it was Garth Brooks.
I don't know anybody else besides that.
He wears a mullet unironically because I think it's cool, I guess, now. And
okay, like wearing the cable guy.
Yeah, and there's a video of him. He was outside his friend's house, pissed drunk, just yelling the N-word out. And this is like last year.
Okay, that's
so. I mean, and he's not 16; he's like 25 or whatever. You should fucking know better. And if it's coming out of your mouth that easy when you've had a couple beers in you, everyone knows that when you're behind closed doors, that thing's flying around,
flying out.
No questions if that word is being used or not. So that's a scenario that I think. The sort of canned apology, oh, sorry, I was drinking and I shouldn't have been said that. I don't use that word. I have lots of black friends.
Yeah. All the little talking points, little bullet points.
That to me is more bullshit, and I would say cancel that fucker because he's not learning and he's being disingenuous with his statements.
Yeah.
As opposed to, when you were 16, we dug up some fucking tweet that you sent off from math class where you made like a bad joke at the time.
Yeah, it was a swing and a miss.
Yeah. which I've had my fair share of bad jokes, for sure. But yeah. So just give me the word, Cerny. We could just delete the whole Chip and Stern archives if we need to. Just the red kill switch button.
Yeah, the nuke button.
Take the nuke. Take it down. Take it down. No, we've stayed clear of controversy. Yeah. Except with the Niners fans. But we don't.
That's okay. That one I'll double down on.
We'll lean into that. We'll lean into that one for sure.
Absolutely.
So I don't think Joe Rogan's going anywhere, but I do think he bears some responsibility from having such a massive platform that you can't let misinformation be spewed and unchecked.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's the same responsibility as like Facebook or Instagram. They all held accountable. You can't have that because there's a large group of people that run with it,
and they lack the critical thinking skills.
And the problem is maybe not so much the sheep that follow that shit, but the Tucker Carlsons and them in the world that know better and they know what they're doing, but they're just preying on the buffoons to make a buck.
Yeah, I mean, Fox is well, I love how they show all the clips about vaccine, show me your paper, show me your passport, vaccine passports, and we're communist. Meanwhile, Fox was one of the first corporations to mandate employee vaccinations and require people to have that. So, like, if he's on the network, he's vaccinated, fully
absolutely.
vaccinated.
He's probably boosted.
And he's boosted, but here he is. Yes.
He's probably got his appointments for this fourth shot.
I'm sure he
it's
was
already scheduled.
One of the first. Same thing with fucking Trump back in the day.
Yeah.
But his base is so. Even he's getting booed now for when he tries to tell people.
They're on their own monster now.
I think, maybe the GOP realized, like, shit, all of our voters are dying because they believe that a mask is a bad thing or vaccines are bad.
I always we
got to course correct
because we have the school things now where the people are protesting the schools for the masks.
Yeah, and
there are some things where these bunch of people like the science just tells you that masks and vaccines don't work. I don't want to engage with them, but I mean, I halfway want to just say
you can't.
Show me your scientific papers there, fucko.
Yeah. Where's science?
Where'd you pull them out of? Where'd you do your research? If you pull up Facebook or Instagram, I'm walking away from you right now.
Smash your head in that phone. Oh my god, that's brutal.
Because it's always then there's always hid behind the. It's what the government doesn't want you to know. Like, this is you've got the beat now.
Yeah. You're only reading the things they put out in the lamestream media.
Yeah, that's right.
You're the sheep. Okay, that's it.
Okay, well,
this is their big work on us. They're just this is the work, and same thing with the. Obviously, once the FDA approves the 5 and under COVID thing, it's just going to be mandatory for school kids, right? Just like the other one. I remember when I was a kid, my mom sent me with literally the card, like from Kaiser, that showed when you got your like hepatitis.
Like yellow and stuff. It folded out. Yeah,
it folded. It was like a fucking piece of origami.
All the shots.
Bring it, and all the shots that you had, and you would have to go in and get it photocopied. And I never.
Remember we had to go hepatitis B, and like he had to go in. It was like 3 shots. I was like, "Fuck."
What am I look like, Tommy Lee? I need a Hep B shot.
Yeah, I know.
I'm fucking in 4th grade here.
I don't see Pamela Anderson in my future.
I hope so. I mean, I see her a lot when I close my eyes and think really hard. But I'm not seeing her in my crystal ball. That's for sure.
I also see Tommy Lee driving his boat.
I'm getting a vision now. But I think I have the same vision as you, Cerny. Did you see they're coming out? They have the show, Tommy and Pam.
Oh, yeah, I did.
Isn't that what it's called?
Is that on Hulu? Where is that? I can't remember that song.
I don't fucking know. Dude, with all the Paramount, Peacock, and Netflix and everything, it's too many apps have gone too wild. What do you do about all this? You can't have.
I stick with so I usually go stick with Hulu. I have Hulu.
Okay.
And then from
there,
Hulu
has your ESPN and your shows,
Disney
your regular
stuff,
TV.
Yeah. Yes, it does.
Okay.
So that's my go-to. And then from there, we also have Netflix because the kids actually watch
Netflix, right?
Yeah. The kids watch more Netflix than I do.
Okay.
So
and you have the Plex.
The Plex. That's the movies. That's for solely for movies.
Yeah. Do you have Amazon Prime?
I do, but I don't really watch anything off of
there. We don't
there.
really watch anything there, but the new Reacher show, it's really good. It's on Prime.
Okay.
It's from a book. These Reacher books.
Okay.
But yeah, there's so many fucking streaming apps. I don't even know what to do with it.
I don't know. Sometimes like my smart TV, I'll just search like the show. And it'll take me, because I'm always like, is it on? Which one is it on again? Fuck, I'll search it.
Yeah. And they bring it up to wherever.
Yeah.
Wherever it's at. I like that. There's something to be done with all the apps. I don't know how to consolidate it all, or it's probably going to be impossible. But I don't know.
Yeah, there has to be some sort of organization because it does get a little wild.
It's the Wild West in the app territories. But
it's crazy is you have all those apps and all those shows and shit. It's still cheaper than when I had DirecTV.
That's true. And I don't know. Do you find when my wife and I will be the weekend, we're like, okay, we're staying up a little late. Let's find a movie. It's there's so many options. We can't even choose. It's like, okay, go to
like,
Netflix. Scroll through.
You spend more time arguing about which one you want to watch than actually just watching one.
So there needs to be the next big app, I think, is probably like some curated that knows all the apps that you have, and then it overfaces what movies you've seen and how you rate them and things like that to recommend, like curate
kind of like Netflix does already, where it's like this is a 96% match or something. So maybe something like that, but
something like that
outside of the app.
Yeah, that sits on top of all the other apps. I don't know if that's even possible. I think it is. APIs. I'll just start saying other acronyms. It'll work.
KPIs,
APIs, OKRs. It's in there. Just rearrange those letters. We'll sort it out.
TPR. Was it TPR report or is it which one?
TPS report.
TPS. That's it.
Now, are they going to show the fucking porno on the Hulu?
I don't know. That's the first thing that popped in my mind when they're showing the thing. I was like, are they going to show the good part? Or are they going to we're going to gloss over it? Never happened.
I'm sure they're going to gloss over it.
We're just going to mention it.
That was something that
doesn't do it justice.
This requires what does that one have? Do you think on Rotten Tomatoes? That's certified fresh.
Oh no way!
I'm
going to say that's like. I'm going to say it's like a 48.
A 48. It's been a while since I've seen the Pam Anderson Tommy Lee sex tape. Probably.
I thought you meant the show. I'm sorry.
Oh, the show. Oh, yeah. I'm talking about the.
Oh, that's a 0.
Yeah, I don't think the show scored super high marks either, but yeah, I don't remember It's been a while. It's been a while. I guess we're getting old when we don't have, deep.
It's on Disney Plus?
Really?
How accurate
Disney Plus has a Pam Anderson, Tommy Lee documentary.
Pam and Tommy.
It's not a documentary. It's like a
miniseries. Yeah.
Miniseries. Okay. Interesting. You know what movie I did catch on the airplane? The Carnage, the new Venom movie.
Oh, by the way, 80% Rotten Tomatoes.
Really? For Pam and Tom? What's it called?
Pam and Tommy.
Okay. Nice.
So the tomato meter is 80%, but the average audience is 59.
Ooh. Ouch.
Yeah, that's not good.
That's not good. Is it rated R? Or do they rate TV shows?
I don't know. It's probably like TVMA. Remember they used to do that for shows?
Right. Yeah, like if they're going to show some titties on there or something. I feel like you can't have a Pam Anderson show and not show some titties. I mean, she was in Playboy like multiple times and a Playgirl and on that, what was that show? Like VIP? What was that TV show she was on?
I don't know.
Damn.
It's on Hulu too, so it's on Hulu. That's why it would be on Disney Plus. So you could probably
okay.
Disney.
Right, because Disney owns Hulu then?
Yeah. So it's on the network's Hulu, so.
Nice. Okay. That's good to know. But yeah. I don't think I'll watch that, but if anyone's seen that, shoot us an email so we can hear how that went.
Yeah, because it's not top of my list right now.
No. That's not right up in the queue. I did watch the new Venom movie, the Carnage one.
Okay.
It was okay.
It was all right. Yeah, it was okay. It got a little weird with like he left his body. It was like in a rave and shit. And I was like, what's going on here?
Yeah, a lot of it. I was like, what? And then the Woody Harrelson thing was a little bit. I don't know. It just was.
I mean, Jeffrey would probably try to fight you right now because he was loving Carnage. He's like, he's so cool. He's so cool.
Dude, it was kind of scary. Cool. It was super like.
Yeah, the roar. He's like, oh, his roar was so cool. He was so cool. But yeah, the rave thing, I was like, come on now.
Yes, and chicken, and like, you know, on the beach at the end when the head's like out talking, I was like, what kind of fucking cheese dick shit is this? What did that one get? What was that one on? Why, if you have Rotten Tomatoes up still?
Oh, let me go back.
Oh, that can't. I would guess audience is probably going to give that one like a 76. Critic 56.
Alrighty. Let there
That's
be
my guess.
carnage.
You've seen it. Yes.
Yeah, we saw it in the theaters.
No, that's a good theater movie.
Yeah, I mean, Jeffrey was
Stoked on it.
Yeah, he was all over it.
Nice.
Okay, so Let There Be Carnage. Rotten Tomatoes.
I think the first one was pretty good from what I remember. I remember it being okay.
So the tomato meter is 59.
Oh. Hey, what'd I say? 56?
Yeah.
Oh,
Audience?
that's not too bad.
Audience? 84.
84, really?
I mean, it's entertaining, but I mean, I think it could have been better. Sometimes when you get those, I think when you get those action movies, when they try to force too much comedy in there, like, you know, you can have a little bit of comedy and stuff, but when you force it in there too much like that, where it's like,
yeah,
where you create another riff. That was the other thing that was killing me, where it's like, you know, Venom and Tom Hardy, whatever, it's Eddie Brock are, you know, fighting, and they have to like learn to be with it. It's like, get the fuck out. I'm here for Venom and Carnage. I'm not here for the story between
relationship between his host.
That here.
Yeah,
that's like that one Incredible Hulk movie where he spent half the movie trying to repress himself being the Hulk. I was like, no, come on, no.
It's like, I don't want to see the Hulk go to therapy for like half the fucking movie.
Hulk smash, come on, man.
Yeah, let's see him Hulk smash people for sure. That's all we want. That's all the people need.
Yeah,
Hulk smash.
I'm not expecting a deep thinker here. Okay.
No. They haven't done any new Hulk movies. They got what's his face to do them, but he's only in the Avengers. But is that the right place for the Hulk though? Can the Hulk really stand alone with his own feature?
Probably the right place. I mean, I don't really follow the Marvels too much.
MCU, Cerny? The MCU, you mean?
Yeah. Obviously, we saw Venom, but that's.
Yeah.
The other stuff, it's like, I mean, there's
so
some fucking superheroes. I was like, fuck. I didn't even know they existed.
No, I'm like, I'll stick with the Batman, the Superman.
So I heard this podcast. It's NPR. I can't remember which one it was. Maybe it's like one of the NPR ones, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. And they were talking
American
about.
Life is the only one that I know.
Was that
This American Life?
It's like
that's the only one I know. Or Ira Glass something.
Okay, actually.
Oh,
as I struggle, if my phone's right here, I can just look it up.
Just look it up. Start playing it.
It is The Indicator. That's it. The Indicator. Ooh. Indicator from Planet Money. Or some
Planet Money.
So they did this story about like, it's like, I can't remember the name of it. It's like Buckethead Man or some shit. And it was an actual comic book hero from like way back when. Mm-hmm. They said like Marvel has like the copyright on like 10,000 or some fucking crazy number of superheroes that actually had a comic book, but they just didn't make it, but they hold on to them just in case like it becomes big.
Oh, so there was Buckethead Man.
Yeah, I can't remember
10
what, but
comics of it, and then they never continued it, but they hold all the patents.
They hold all the patents, and they actually
interesting.
They actually let them do the Indicator, like do a comic book about it, because they were able to buy it from them for like whatever it was. They like fundraise or some shit like that. But there's other ones that like they said, what about this one? I said, nope.
Interesting, right? Because they probably, I mean, I'm sure Marvel has a whole department of people who are just ideating new universes and new characters and new storylines all the time.
So a lot of times they just go through like their little Rolodex of like names and stuff or whatever characters that they have a copyright on, and then they just release it or something like that. That's why someone like I think it was like what was that movie we just watched? The Eternals.
Oh yeah, I didn't even know any. I never heard of any of those people.
No, I didn't know either. But I think I swear I looked that one up, and I was like, oh, no, they're fucking real.
Well, wow. There's obviously so many layers to the Marvel universe that we can't properly keep up.
That is an onion that has layer after layer.
Your eyes will be literally fucking cried out by the time you get to the center of that onion.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of getting to the center, we've reached the end.
It's just a shame.
Your journey to the center of the earth would be the end of your life. More likely, the molten core of the earth.
Yeah, you would be dead.
You'd be dead, despite what Carnage would have you think.
Yeah, or the movie
Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan will tell you you'd be fine. There's a whole other world down there, according to Joe Rogan.
You'll be cool. Just wear a jacket. But yeah, we're carrying on as normal. Cerny's still riding sky high on the Rams' victory, Super Bowl victory.
I sleep so every Sunday. I sleep a little easier until August. Then it starts
and I don't think we're getting much of a baseball season this year. It doesn't feel close.
It'll be shortened.
Yeah.
It'll be shortened.
It'll be sad. Owners, fuck them.
Fucking owners, greedy fucks.
Anywho, we're just gonna keep on keeping on, dealing with this cold front that we're dealing with here in California. But you know, we're all having a great time.
Yep.
Genitals are scrubbed clean, as they should be.
That's important.
It's one of the most important things. It's like brushing your teeth. Brush your teeth, brush your ball bag, brush your labia, all sorts of stuff like that. It's just how you do it. It's what doctor recommends. You won't hear that on Joe Rogan. But till next time, I'm Chip.
I'm Cern.
Cheers.